Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. We've now completed the game releases in October we could figure out the release date for, and now it's time to go into uncharted waters. Welcome again to October 1982, but now we're playing all the video games that we don't know exactly when in October they came out, and we usually do them in alphabetical order. Last thing we played was 747 Flight Simulator, the very first for the Dragon 32. Let's see what is next. All right, here we go. It's time to play Asteroids. And when I say we couldn't pin the release date down for some of these, that means these are usually pretty obscure and wild and wacky games. Here we go on the Commodore VIC-20. It's Asteroids. Everyone loves Asteroids, right? This one we don't have a lot of information for, just a few screenshots. So let's just pop in and play some Asteroids. This is by Arcadia. And sometime in October 1982, not to be confused with Bug Bites Asteroids that comes out later. This one is a totally different one. Your ship's trapped in an asteroid storm. You have to blast as many asteroids as possible, smaller ones scoring the highest. The controls are, okay, there you go. You can use keyboard if you want, but it does work with joystick as well. Press start to be, or return to start, and good luck. We're all counting on you. All right, so it's loading again. This is the second load. We've seen that a few times on the Commodore VIC-20. They just love loading around here. That's right, Psychosis Media. This is Mystery Box Games. All right, so I'm in. Joystick controls are working. I got rotation. Do I have a shot? Yes, got a shot. Nice. There we go. Working all right. I have some sound effects, and I explode in Petsky characters. That's really nice. It looks like this is just modified Petsky anyway. But yeah, it's Asteroids. Let's fly. Oh my gosh, what? I just went one thrust forward. No, stop, turn around. It is not controlling. I can't stop the ship. It will. Okay, well, I guess I can stop if I run into an asteroid. Maybe I'll just sit in one spot. Let's not move and then have a better experience. Or maybe there's something up with the joystick. Maybe the joystick is too sensitive. My God. And then I blew up again. Something is rotten here with Asteroids on the VIC-20, at least by Arcadia. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say, forget the joystick. Let's go with keyboard. Ready? I'm going to... Oh, no. I'll die. I'll die first. And explode in fantastic fashion. Oh, it is all modified characters, Marshall. Oh, there you go. Game over. Can we try again? The first thing I did was hit the cursor key to the left, and look, the ship just goes flying. That is one tap of one key to thrust. The plane cannot be controlled. It is, even when we played other asteroid games with pretty good physics engines and went really, really fast, this is still, it's uncontrollable, and there's no rhyme or reason to how fast you're going. Look, it's just going crazy. It's so nuts. I can't believe how bad of an Asteroids game this is. I wonder if this was sold with just screenshots, because when you look at this, if we were to freeze frame this right here, it looks like a fairly good asteroid. But also notice the hit detection's so bad. I'm flying through asteroids. And I don't even know what hit me there. Did anyone see what hit me? I think it was a rogue invisible asteroid. Oh my goodness. Yeah. This is crazy. I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to tap one time to thrust. You ready? On the keyboard, so I'm not using the joystick. There shouldn't be any sensitivity. Even the... Look! It's too fast. Right? All right, yeah, I'm going to have to call it, because we don't have any expanded memory. We're not... This isn't sped up. This is an unexpanded VIC-20. But no. No. Asteroids... That's one to pass on for sure. We already played a lot of Asteroids here on the show. This marks our 45th game that plays very similar and just like Asteroids. On the Commodore VIC-20 alone, this is the 6th game that's like Asteroids, but this is so bad. This is down there in the broken range of all the video games you can play. I'd love to see in the chat, Psychosis is given a 0. Yeah, I'm getting a 1 score, negative score, half star. Yeah, hard 1 from James. I love that one. Yeah, half star, 1.5 from Charlie. Yeah, we're getting very low ratings here. Now, if it is the emulation, you're welcome to drop me a line and say, no, something's up with how fast it's going. But this isn't the first time. We've seen VIC-20 games do this, where they are just pretty much trash. So this one, it's up there with Space Rocks on the Commodore VIC-20, which was very, very bad. And so I'm going to go, this is the rating we give between a broken game around 1 star, and then 2 stars would be a bad game. So I'm going to say 1 star. It's like broken or bad, you know, right there on the cusp of those two. Gosh, yeah, even 1. Oh yeah, El Curtis B would drop it to half star. Yeah, that's crazy bad. And proof that we're playing every single game, not just the really good ones. Man, it's Asteroids. I love Asteroids. Just not that version. All right, let's press forward and see our next game. We're next going to play on the TRS-80 color computer, or the 80 micro, as they say in magazines. We call it the Coco here. And this is Avenger. Avenger's another really awesome title. Let's take a look at the artwork. All we have is an advertisement flyer you would have seen at the time. This is not to be confused with Avenger that we saw in 1975 in the arcade, or Avenger that was on the Commodore VIC-20, Max Machine, and the Commodore 64 that played kind of like Space Invaders. It's not that one. It's also not Avenger on the ZX81 and ZX Spectrum in July 1982. This is a completely new Avenger, and this marks our 142nd game we played on the TRS-80 color computer. Nice ad. It's showing just what the game looks like. It's like the color computer. It looks more green. Usually there's more colors that come out of the color computer. Oh, use keyboard, L. Curtis B. Okay. Yes. Okay, so, oh, horrible on modern keyboards? Uh-oh. That's all I think we have right now. And then all we have is a screenshot. So all we have is an advertisement and a screenshot. Not faring too well. Let's pop in and play some Avenger. This is by the Cornsoft Group at some time in October 1982. There we go. All right, so before we get started, we got to load this up, and I think this is machine language. Avenger. Yes. Bask in the Coco's green glow. You love the Coco's green glow. Before you start any game, you have to type up how to load into the game. They usually explain how to do it. You can get it all here. Well, we got a flash of the Cornsoft Group. Ooh, that's a cool sound effect. It blended from bad to what am I listening to hey, that's pretty cool. This is the 6th game that we've played by the Cornsoft Group, and one of the best, I believe, was Scarfman. So here's another one you can play. They're giving us the enemies and point values. I'm going to go with keyboard. I'll use Curtis's recommendation in the chat. The joystick is, as usual on the Coco, analog joystick, so I'm not going to be playing Avenger that way, but we're going to go keyboard in, and we got our point values and score. Let's go. All right, there we go. So I'm on the left side of the screen as the ship. Oh, look at the top. We got a scanner, just like Defender. And it looks like we're doing a side-scrolling shooter. Let's see if I can thrust. Yeah. Well, thrust right into somebody. So yeah, if you look at the top, it does have a radar at the top. Just like a Defender's minimap. The only thing, though, is I can't turn around. All I can go is stand still like this and shoot the enemies, or go in one direction to the right. You die really fast. I need to watch the scanner, though, because the enemies are wrapping around if I'm not. Oh, there's one that's going really fast, like a flying saucer on the screen. I can feel a little bit of inertia when I go up and down, or a little bit whenever I'm going to the right and to the left. But it looks like I need to... Man, that was a fast game over. You die so quick around here. Hit detection is better than Asteroids, but this still is not the best hit detection. Let's go in again. Everything's better than the previous game, Chiptune. Man, so many games that you could have been playing. And it's amazing because at that time, right now in October 1982, you really don't know the game until you can either demo it in a store. But sometimes you're seeing it from the magazine, you order it from the magazine, and then you come home and this is what you get. And it's just it's a mixed bag. All right, let's go in again. I'm ready now. So I have up-down movement, and I also have a super missile. Where's my... I want to kill everything at once on the screen. Where's my super missile? I want to figure that one out, because that would help a lot. If I don't get shot. Man, I'm going to be dying so fast. Where's my super missile? Come on, it's got to be something. S? No? I know my shot. That one's pretty simple. But where's my super missile? Oh, I see. Some of the keys, though, it's not immediately representing my hit. Like when I push on the keyboard, it doesn't seem it works. Home key. Okay, let's give that a shot. Of course, to blow everything up on the screen, you hit home. That would work. All right, let's try it again. Ready? Home? No, not home. Oh my gosh. Let's go with... Not that space, enter, clear. Yeah, and this one we didn't have, all we have is the advertisement flyer, so the instructions for it are a little spotty. Oh, there it is. What did I hit? Q? Oh, that's it. It's Q, of course. Q. For quitting every enemy on the screen. All right, so this does have something going to it. If I can clear the last 2 enemies, if you look at the top radar, we got 2 more left. But if you clear them all away, then it has apparently a boss. So I'm really want to see what the boss is like. Thanks, El Curtis B. I bet it did on the Coco keyboard. All right, so we have our shot. We have our super. Now we're ready to rock. And go. I have up-down movement with a little bit of inertia, and then I can move left and right to thrust. And stop if I want to. The ones you got to watch out for are those saucers, though. These ones, they're actually not that menacing. These aliens aren't abducting anybody. No one's turning into mutoids like they are in Defender. So maybe these aren't such a bad guy. All right, let's see. We got 2 more left. Looking pretty good. Man, yeah, those flying saucers are so fast. All right, here we go. Coming to the side. Yes. All right, attack wave 1 completed. We're already improving, but I'm already getting sketchy results because I can't turn around like Defender. It looks like I'm playing Defender, but it really is not. But it's not Scramble either. We've seen Scramble games that auto-scroll, you know, from left to right. But this one is, what is this? Okay, we can't shoot that. It looks like a mine that they're dropping. So we got different enemy types. That's pretty cool. Man, yeah, they're really fast, though. Yeah, so there's no humans to pick up and defend. It's just shoot everything. It's a shoot 'em up. Don't worry, it'll catch on. All right, there you go. Game over. But we're getting better, and it's growing on me, but it's still not one of the best, especially when you have the option for joystick, but keyboard's the better way to go. I know, right? It's not Defender, it's Avenger. That's why we're just killing everything. Brutally difficult. We've seen other brutally difficult games, so in a way you could say it's an homage to Defender because, you know, Defender was so difficult. All right, let's be smart now. Can they hit me once they're off screen? Man, look at that. See the hit detection? And this first wave is pretty simple. Nice. Okay, we're doing better. Attack wave 1 done. Let's go. Okay, now we got ones that are dropping the mines. Man, there's shots, though. Oh, I gotta remember my Q. I want to get a lot of people on screen and then Q them. No, more. Give me some more. How many bombs do I have? Yes. Kill them all. There. Much better. No, get away. Look at the radar. Look how fast that UFO. I wonder if it's like the evil auto of this. It just, when you take too long. Yeah, because it doesn't count as one of the kills. Once you kill all of the aliens that look like the aliens from Defender, then you move on to the next wave. All right, yep, getting crazier, but yeah, it's gameplay doesn't feel as smooth. It's stilted. It also is kind of like when we played Room of Doom. It was kind of like Berserk, but it felt like we were being held back, not from a real Berserk game. This is kind of like Defender, but it's like we're being held back. It's not a real Defender game. It has elements that would make you think you're playing Defender, but you're not. But in a way, this is kind of like of all the Defender games we played, this is one that is not really Scramble, but not really Defender. It's in between. It's Avenger. Yeah, it's trying, but I'm trying to think. We've played so many really, really good Defender clones that are out there on home computers, and this one is not one of them. In fact, we played another one that was really good on the Coco called Offender. And that one was a really good way to play Defender. So that'd be the way on the Coco to play right now. This one, not so much. It's still fun for the shoot 'em up, but yet since the hit detection isn't so sharp and the controls don't feel as spot on, I'm getting used to the controls, especially whenever you want to use your smart bomb. Yeah, the radar at the top showing you which enemies are left. Uh-oh, man, they split into... Gosh! And you do get a little bit of firepower. It's not just one shot. You got a few shots you can send off, too. Sweet. All right, there you go. That is Avenger for the TRS-80 color computer. I would say at this time, for video games that you could play on home computers, it's not the best way to play Defender. At this point, this marks our 32nd game we've played that is very similar and very close to Defender. And it's the third one you could play on the Coco. So there's not a whole lot of Defender-type games you could play. I'm already seeing some low ratings. Chiptune saying 2, so everyone's around the bad range. I see Kun saying 2.5. Oh man, a Psychosis Media is going even lower than that. Yeah, even El Curtis B is going 2, low score for all the games you could play, or 2.5. So to give you some examples of the good games, the good Defender games you can play across all home computers right now would be like Eliminator. On the TRS-80 and the other home computers. Lunar Leaper is Defender-ish, is a much better game you could be playing. And then Defender, the one that they changed to Planetoid on the BBC Micro, that's a really good one too. Protector 2 is one we just played on the Atari home computer. That's excellent. Astro Blitz on the VIC-20 is another good one. Gorgon is a classic, really, really well done Defender game on the Apple II. And then Strike Force on the TRS-80. And then Rear Guard would be better, I would say, than this one. So all those titles are out there as better Defender-type games. Yeah, it does have the Twitch value. That's true, Marshall. I see some lower than average or around average range from Marshall and Punk Rock. So I'm going to go on the lower range because of all the games you could be playing, there are better titles at this point, but I'm going to say bad. It's a 2-star game of all the titles across all home computers so far. And there's a lot of other Defender variants you could be playing as well. All right, after Avenger, let's go to Japan and see what's on the television. Ooh, cool. It's a handheld. Wait, that went south fast. He was laughing and then crying. This is Bandai, or the handheld company, Draculajoh, as he pronounces it so eloquently in the commercial. Now, this is a handheld that is kind of like one of those Coleco tabletops. And in other countries outside of Japan, it could have been known as Vampire. And there's two different versions. There's the tabletop version, and then there's like the handheld version that you see here. Those are terrible screenshots, but this one's a little hard to come by. A big shout out to Chiptune. He showed me this commercial, and I said, well, I got to show that on the show. I mean, it's hilarious. And this is the one in Japan, the tabletop Draculajoh, which is essentially a Donkey Kong style game. It's a platformer, just like handheld platformers. There's a few of them, and there you go. You can see the system itself, and the screen is where you're climbing up, and you're avoiding Dracula. Dracula is throwing things at you, and they're rolling down like Donkey Kong and the barrels. As the handheld, it's pretty nice. So there you go. There's the Vampire version as the handheld, but it also had Vampire as a tabletop as well. And there's the handheld, and there's the Draculajoh version of the handheld too. So it is one of those LCD handhelds ripping off Nintendo Game & Watch. They're the ones that are the kings right now. Donkey Drac, I love it, Punk Rock. That's right. So here's a few screenshots of the game, because sadly this is one that we're not able to play on the show. I wasn't able to find a simulator or an emulator for this one. I'm merely documenting and showing this because of the commercial. So the commercial is what led me here, and that's what we have to show for Bandai's Draculajoh. In a way, Bandai right now is similar to Nintendo, where the only thing that they're excelling at in the video game world are handhelds. So it's kind of cool right now, the beginning, before they start doing more video games on consoles. All right, so since we didn't get a chance to play this one, and it is a platformer, I have not played it myself, so I'm going to have to go down to a 2-star rating. If anyone does have a simulator that we could play this on the show, let me know. Oh, nice. Very cool, Marshall. I don't think many kids did. The FL is another moniker, too, that they put on the front of some of these as well. All right, after a handheld we weren't able to put in the palm of our hands, let's see what's next. Now it's time to introduce a new platform, the brand new SHG Black Point. This is in Germany, and this is a console that, I'm not going to try to pronounce that company over on the left side, but this is a console that proves we're playing and trying to showcase every single video game. If you're a fan of consoles, like I am, I wasn't familiar that this was even a thing. This is one of the most rare consoles in all console history. the SHG Black Point. If you look over on the left side, they're showing the system itself, and this video that you see over on the left is brought to us by Iceberg Docs. I'm going to include some links down below so you can see his channel and videos, because he likes to dive into really obscure consoles too. So this home console is very similar to the Epoch Cassette Vision, because the system itself really doesn't have any information. There's no CPU, there's no memory inside. Everything's housed within the cartridges, the logic and data to play the game. So the cartridges are larger. Look how big the slot is, compared to the rest of the console. And the system itself, I don't have any specs I can give you to compare to other consoles that are out there. Oh, I know this one. Yeah, is very, very obscure. So this system was originally in 1977, and the model was the FS1001. Here is the new system, the FS1003, and then I think they had another re-released model called the 2000. So this was an older system that we didn't play on the show because the very first one was like a Pong clone. That's all it did was play a couple Pong games, and it was one of those standalone consoles along with the other Pong clones we didn't play. So over here on the left, this is Iceberg Docs talking about the system itself, the SHG Black Point. So I'll have some links down below where you can check out his channel and see even more obscure consoles if you want to as well. This is the first game that we're going to be playing on the SHG Black Point, and it is from Germany. So I'm going to try my best to pronounce all the games, but we're probably going to fall flat on some of them. The very first game is 1000 Trefferspiel, or 1000 Trefferspiel, which is essentially hit game. That's all. If you want to roughly translate it, it's a hit game, and the hit game, it means it's just a breakout style game. So if you look at the front of the box, I'll show you the. Here we go. The front of 1000 Trefferspiel is people destroying bricks or breaking things away, because you're going to be bouncing a block around breakout style. From what I was told, this is very similar or almost identical to the game they had on the first system from 1977. So you get to play it again right here. And I do not have any video footage on this game. All I have is this cartridge and the picture of what the box would have looked like to play. This console is so obscure that I just recently started to find video of people in Germany playing the console, like wanting to be retro and playing some of the console, showing what the video game footage is like. So I have some games that have footage, but I don't have every single one of these games. But this is another one of those breakout style games, and sadly, that's all we have for this title. There is no emulator or simulator to play the SHG Black Point. So I'm gonna have to go way low and call all these games half star. If someone has a way we can play everything on this system, then I'd love to do it, but we're just gonna be able to showcase what the system was like. Let's go to Germany and see some more. What else do they got on the SHG Black Point? The next one is Grand Prix that you could play on the system. The total count, I believe, is only 7 games that came out, at least that have been documented. Grand Prix looks really similar to a game we saw on the Interton VC4000, and it's also a game called Car Races, and it also looks like some of the other games we saw for the Epoch Cassette Vision. Very, very similar. You can see here the, let me load it up again. There it is. So the game itself looks like you're just dodging traffic, almost similar to the old school Atari VCS game, but very, very simple because it's not utilizing a CPU like Atari would. So this console feels like we're doing a step backwards in technology rather than forwards, at least on a global scale. So here's Grand Prix. Box looks really nice. We're going to do some racing on our brand new home console. Now, in Germany, they would have already had the Interton VC4000, and there's a few other consoles that were in Europe that could have been available. So while this was in Germany only, for the most part, there was other consoles that they could have had and played on. They didn't have to get this console. And right off the bat, I'd say go with the Interton VC4000 or the Philips Video Pack. That's really the way to go. Yeah, I know, it does. This one even looks like another paddle game too, right, Brian? So there's a cartridge if you wanted to play some Grand Prix on your SHG Black Point. Now, of all the games we've seen on home consoles, still can't play it, so I'm going to have to go half star for that one. We're going to be breezing through all the titles on the SHG Black Point. I'm saying SHG because I can't pronounce the company completely. It's It is a mouthful. All right, so coming up to our next title on this new console is Motorradrennen. And this one roughly translates to motorcycle race. Let's take a look at some of the footage. Now, this should look reminiscent to the game we saw back in 1975, Stunt Cycle. So you get to play it at home. There's a few other titles we've seen, on Atari that do the same thing. But it's a very old concept, but you could be able to play this title on this system. Notice that the colors are mostly in black and white. It's possible that the footage I'm getting is someone playing on a black and white television. I don't know for sure if it had color, but it wouldn't surprise me if it didn't, because this is not using any CPU or memory. It actually looks pretty fun because, yeah, it's like the old school Atari game. And then we also have, here's the box for Motorradrennen. See, I'm not even able to pronounce it correctly, but it's motorcycle race. And there's the cartridge. Each one of these has different game modes, so it feels like the old school consoles that we saw back in the late 70s. And this one makes me think of the Epoch Cassette Vision and Europe in general, Japan, falling behind from the beginning of the console race. And then they're going to be picking up. Europe's going to have better and better consoles, and Japan, of course, is going to have better and better consoles. This one is consoles trying to get their start, but you can tell if it only had 7 games, didn't do so well. Oh, that's right. And because we can't play this one, I have to get a low rating as well. Sorry, half star. Looks cool, though. I would love to check it out and play it. All right, coming up next, also for the SHG Black Point, is Panzerschlacht. And if it has Panzer, that means there's tank in the title. This one is an obvious combat or tank style game. You can see you can turn the tank and play against 2 people. Now, this one's kind of special because the box for this game was a lot bigger because the joysticks on the SHG Black Point were analog. They were analog joysticks, just like the Enterton BC4000 console. But this game needed digital joysticks. So you bought the game, this big box, because it came with 2 digital joysticks. And I don't know how many other games used the digital joystick, but Panzerschlacht sure did. And we also have the box. Man, I'm going to get tongue twisted going to Germany playing all these games. So there's the massive box. Looks awesome. It's very similar to Tank, the one we saw from a very long time ago. And this roughly translates to Tank Battle. There is the cartridge. Now, if you notice, it has the ports to plug in the 2 digital joysticks. So cool. Oh, good point, Psychosis Media. Maybe that's why this console isn't as technologically impressive as the others. All right, so same as before, I might give the same rating as Combat. No, I don't know how many game modes it has, but I have to play it to be sure, but we'll go with half star for now. All right, after that, let's see what's next. You also could play Schutzenspiel on your SHG Black Point. This one is the almost long-lost game of the 7 that you could play. This one has no information. I have no box, no video footage. So everyone that I saw online that had themselves playing games, nobody had this title. But a few people referenced it, that it existed. So I'm just going to say Schutzenspiel is there. That it roughly translates to shooter game. Shooter game somewhere out there, but I don't have any footage of it. All right, let's see what's next. Next up is Seekrieg that you could play on the SHG Black Point. This one roughly translates to Naval War, and you can see from the video footage, it's very similar to Seawolf. Or maybe you're not even controlling your own sub. Maybe you're just supposed to target shoot, fire something from the bottom. Hopefully you hit the target at the top, but you're obviously playing as a submarine. Can't you tell? Doesn't this feel like we're playing something from 1977? This game reminds me of like just one step above the RCA Studio 2, like that kind of quality. And then we have the box for Seekrieg. There we go. Nice. Artwork's really nice. I like how they're going with the orange motif. They still have the colors, but not using the full color of the rainbow that other consoles have done. There's the cartridge for Seekrieg. Yeah, everything looks pretty primitive to me so far, but I can't give it a true rating unless I am able to play it myself. And finally, the last game that, for all intents and purposes, is the only last game of the SHG Black Point is Zehn elektronische Fernsehspiele in Farbe. And that's the only time I'll try to pronounce it in German, in Deutsch. All right, so let's do first the video. This one is very similar to a target practice game. And this one you can really see the analog joysticks moving around as crosshairs. So you and a friend can move around and try to shoot the target, which is just a mass of a few other pixels. I know, yeah, it's in color. So maybe then the other games were programmed in black and white, because this is from the same website where I got the footage from. Very, very simple idea and concept, and this kind of puts in perspective across all consoles, across the whole world. You can see, even in Germany, the Philips, the Interton VC4000 console is a better console, and the Philips Video Pack would be a better console, but it's if you got your hands on it. All right, so this is the box, and you can see this one is really similar to their original system. It has lots of Pong-style games, but it does have the shooter style. There's no light gun, though. It's just using the crosshair to move around. But every one of these you see, hockey, tennis, soccer, it's all Pong-like games. Yes, and there you go. Everyone having fun on their SHG Black Point. It brings the strung in a bind, which I need to stop because my German is not so good. There's the cartridge. You can pop into play all 10 games. 10 games in one. What a deal. Ooh, I don't know. That'd be a good question. With these obscure consoles, a lot of these questions I don't get answered. So I'm to say the same thing, half star for Zehn elektronische Fernsehspiele in Farbe. All right, so that is the last and all the games that came out for the SHG Black Point. It's a quick showcase of what the system is, and then we're out of there. It's very similar to when we played the handheld, the Intex Adventure Vision. You know, it's just we play a few games and then it's all done and we never see it again. And so, farewell, SHG Black Point. That's all we'll see for now. All right, thanks for hanging with me all the way to the end of all those obscure games. Sadly, it's time to put our video game playing on pause or showcasing on pause. But next time on Chronologically Gaming, we're going to go play a couple of black and white video games, and you're going to like it. That's it for today, and like I always say, video games that include multiple games have got to be the best, including Pong clones. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.